Good morning, everyone. Market-wise report for January 9th, 2024. Quite a day yesterday. If you watched yesterday's video, the focus really was on that Apple upgrade and moving to tech. So the push to buy tech was clear. It was had been slightly oversold from my models, and it was a easy buy to jump on that bandwagon and just ride that pretty much the entire day. But today's a new day, so let's get into it. The 8 major areas that we're going to take a peek at to make sure we're properly prepared to trade the markets. First and always, we check our levels. And our levels today is, we sit at 47.81 right now at 8:15 in the morning. And we are very interested in this particular level. This could be a new battleground, but I still like the 47.36. So the 47.36 is the battleground for bulls versus bears. That's obviously would retract the majority of yesterday's move. Not necessarily predicting that, but that when we look at the big money, you'll see that there are a fair amount of protection that was put on late during the day. So this move lower, if it can break the 47.80 level, you could see continuous move downward as people start to try to protect those gains. If 47.80 holds, then we have a chance for what we call the frog level, or the expected or anticipatory move all the way up to 48.59 to challenge the recent highs. So that those are important levels to watch. If we do break that 47.80, I'd like to see, from a short perspective, I'd like to see a test of that 47.80 and then subsequently fail and follow that down. If 47.80 gets broken or holds right at the moment, then the bulls are still in charge, and we will subsequently play from the long side. So pretty important level right here, and we're going to, my bias is almost to the downside, but I'll let the failed follow through kind of dictate the positioning that I'll have for the day. So let's get into kind of the 8 core areas as we like to check every morning. First is the economic calendar. From here, we have the yesterday kind of the consumer inflation expectations. Today, we're going to have import exports and Atlanta Fed GDP. Those are minor market movers. I think people are kind of waiting for CPI later in the week. But we shall see how that gets played out. We had a bunch of acquisitions over the evening, mostly in the pharma world. Boeing still continues to have its problems, and it is... So both Boeing and Spirit Aero are on the watch, at least not necessarily to trade, but as a sentiment as to, do people just start to now say the heck with it. United Airlines found some bolts in one of their plugs. So the airlines are, at least the ones that have the 737 are on watch. From a big money perspective, this is again the ETFs, where the protection was slightly bearish. We have 62% on the put flow, 52.87 on the IDM. So people are not, my guess is this is a play on the interest rates not having the 6 for the month or the year, as subsequently have some moves. So some protection, and then I always kind of like to look at what's happening at very late in the day. Is big money happens in the morning and near the end for liquidity purposes, And there's some fair amount of activity late in the day, really just looking for 10 to 15 days out. So that's something to be aware of, that are they building these hedges for the banks and the earnings. Dan Niles came out yesterday and was talking about this is the quarter for the Magnificent Seven to prove themselves. Earnings, you have Albertsons this morning. Nothing really earth-shattering except to start watching the banks as Friday comes closer. Or the J.P. Morgans, the Bank of Americas, what type of conversation brews from that? Are they throwing warnings out? Are they saying that the consumer is fine? As you probably noted, consumer credit was astronomical this quarter or this month, and that's something that is brewing under the surface for sure. From a daily stock ratings perspective, this is the top analyst from TipRanks, and market cap over $2 billion. These four really have some interest for me. ALB, Caesars, FMC, Crisp. These have some substantial upside. It's definitely going to be on watch. These were all from yesterday, but should be aware as to some continuation. So in the plan, we'll look for support or breakouts for these particular stocks to play. The daily insider transactions are very interesting. QSR has basically everybody and their cousin has started to sell inside of QSR. Now, this may dovetail into what McDonald's had said in their blog post about their hit in the Middle East, or this could be just a slowdown in the quick brands around the world. I also have some interest in Iron Mountain. This is a interesting buy by the chief revenue officer or the head of sales, and that is something to at least take a peek. Does he know something that we don't? News and chatter, nothing. You'll see here some of those acquisitions I spoke about earlier. Samsung got absolutely destroyed. That's probably part of the reason why we are down this morning in the tech. But we've got a lot of airplanes that have some negative news out there as expected. So it's just something to be aware of. We have Tilray that's in play from an earnings perspective. That is also a play from day traders. I wouldn't swing that particular trade, but if the market sets up, that may be of some interest. Juniper, rumored about HPE buying them. So we're starting to see a few more acquisitions come into play. From a morning recommendations, we are really in this Microchip is interesting because they had reduced their forecast, but I see two, I guess just one, two, buy rating on these guys. So I'll dig into that a little bit deeper. This Amazon has my interest, as well as some others. We'll dig into those on the daily plan. Somebody is trying to buy the dip in BA, thinks it's not that big of a deal. When a door falls off a plane, I can't understand how that's not a big deal. But to each his may. So that is it for this morning. Again, our focus will be on those Albemarle, Caesars, FMC, to look for the plan, but the key level for us, and it sits literally right at 47.80 right this instant. So we will see if we get a failed follow through or we have a bounce off of that 47.80 to take the market up to the next level. So that's it for now. Appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you have success in today's trading and building swing trades. This is not financial advice. It is more of my diary to look back on. Good luck, good trading.